What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Mark here with the Better Mark. Let's get into the Sunday, July 7th Major League Baseball betting picks. I'm going to do this one a little differently, try a different format for you guys. Try to keep this one around 10 minutes, and that way I can just rattle off some things as I go, kind of go through my process and give you guys my best bets for this Sunday. Another day where we cashed 3 out of 5 within the market, and I thought we were this close to getting that broom out where we just had two totals. One was over, one was under. The Seattle game kind of stole it from us in the 9th. A meaningless run. They still lost the game. It should have just ended 5-3. And then we did have the Dodgers 5-3 again. So kind of stuck on that 5-3 number. So, unless you're playing craps and you don't need the over 8.5, that really doesn't do you any good. So, but we went 3-2. So overall, very profitable. Had the Uruguay advancing as well within the soccer realm. So, very nice weekend that we've compiled for the July 4th holiday. So let's keep the momentum going. I'm going to give you guys a few picks in this video. I have 3 best bets, and then I'm also going to give you guys 2 kind of, I guess you would call it, very good bets. Probably if I had to rank these from confidence, this would be number 1 on my list for this for these bets today. Also, I'm going to tell you guys that it's going to be kind of hard to put them together because it's more so a game script. So I'll tell you guys how I feel about the game. There's plenty of options out there. You guys can kind of go down your own route and figure out which way you want to head with that. And I'll kind of do this from a perspective where I'll leave it open-ended so you guys make the decision. But I will tell you exactly how I feel about this game because it is something that I have a very strong indication on. So let's get into it. Make sure you guys all subscribe down below. Smash that like button. And please subscribe to the channel. It's something that's very important. These are free picks. I don't charge for picks. If you want to become a channel member, $10 a month. There will be some exclusive perks, like I say. Haven't been doing too much in that, to be honest, but once football season starts ramping up, there's going to be a lot more time to kind of get you guys some exclusive content and stuff that I'll release to you guys before other people. Also, a little previews and primers. I'm going to be getting one out for the football season upcoming. So if you want to become a channel member, it's also kind of like my way of saying, hey, buy me a beer. I don't charge for picks, but a lot of people go on runs, and quite frankly, if I don't have that good of a hot streak, or if my picks are bad for a while, I wouldn't feel right at heart taking money from anybody for picks. So that's why I don't charge, and quite frankly, I don't need the money. But if you want to buy me a beer, channel memberships down below. Also, oddsjam. That is another channel sponsor. We're going to be coming. We're going to have a couple more coming here. I've been contacted by a couple parties, and so really cool in terms of fantasy and props. We're going to have a lot more content here on the channel where we're not just going to do, my best bets for the day. We're going to do some prop content and stuff along those lines. So exciting stuff coming. Like I said, I just started this channel back in February, so bear with me. But come football season, my hopes and dreams are that we have this all ramped up, 10,000 subscribers, and keep that momentum going. But can't do without you guys. So like I said, subscribe down below, and let's get into the picks. All right, first game, we're gonna kind of breeze through the ones that I don't have plays on. I'll tell you guys my thoughts. Philly and Atlanta, that's been kind of the overwhelming back and forth, kind of the, I guess you call it the prime series for this weekend. We look at Philadelphia on the money line, plus 155. That's really hard to pass up, to be honest. I got burnt yesterday with one of my losses. Atlanta kind of came out swinging. Personally, in this kind of game, I do like, they don't call it Hot Atlanta for nothing. I do like the potential for a lot of runs in this. I know Ronaldo Lopez is pitching, Michael Mercado, 1.5 ERA, and just his limited action during the season. We have an early start at Truist Park. So kind of contrarian play here. It would not shock me if we went under the 8.5, but I'm not going to be in the business of taking betting against kind of runs in the South this time of year. That really does play a role, in my opinion. So night game, yeah, a little sticky. It just depends. But I could see runs in this. I could see a shutout. I could see a 2-1 game. I don't really have a clear feeling on this. A lot of times I back Ronaldo Lopez. He's fantastic. But then the Braves will end up losing 2-1 or 3-2, 3-1, something like that. So if I had to basically give you guys a bet for this one, it would be the under and under in the Braves, but it's hard to do so with the way that the odds are set right now at minus 160. So I'd be more inclined to take that low-hanging fruit and gobble up that plus 155 on the Philly money line. So this is a no bet for me. Okay, Mets and Pirates, okay, this is something where if you want to go for it, take the Mets. Minus 125 money line. Pittsburgh has been kind of wrecking them. Luis Ortiz going against Sean Manaea. For me, this is something where if you want to dare to take the Mets, go for it. But I really don't want to bet against Pittsburgh at home, so I'm staying away from this game. Also, I do want to kind of point out to you guys, we are this close to the All-Star break. I think this time, and quite frankly, from a kind of what these teams have put together, we are a little bit late to the party. I think last year the All-Star break maybe was even in June. I can't remember. For some reason, this is kind of late in the baseball season, because I've noticed a lot of these records kind of are just above that 85 game threshold. So we're way over halfway. It just felt a little off to me. So I wonder how much of that actually plays a role into how lineups are being constructed and kind of the day-to-day operations within the ball club, and who behind the scenes are getting that, like, DH spots or time off, so on and so forth. Injuries, not rushing them back. I think that's what we're seeing a little bit with Philadelphia. These guys, they're pros, they get paid, but they do still perform like human beings at times and take their foot off the gas, just like kids do. So that's kind of what you have to keep in mind too. So we will use that, and I'm going to go kind of light leading up to the All-Star break, just due to that narrative. Okay. Next one up is the Cards and Nationals. Why not? Why not? Let's go back to it if you guys want to. The bet in this game would be the over 9, or the Nationals money line. Okay. That's kind of where I'm at with this. I'm not going to play it, but if I had to bet this one, it would be Nationals money line, and the over. You look at the pitchers, though. Last start out for what we had going on with Kyle Gibson in Pittsburgh, he pitched pretty well. Like I said, that was another game where I was actually at that game, and the balls were flying, humidity was high, balls were jumping out of the ballpark. But DJ Hers for the Nats, pretty solid outings, and this is something where the Nationals have been on fire. Sneaky team. We're gonna be keyed in on for the second half of this season for sure. So I think we could get the slumping Cardinals to kind of I guess taken out back for this one. It's Nationals or nothing for me, but I am not going to bet this game. Okay, next game is our first official play. We are going to take that low-hanging fruit, take the under in Detroit, under 8.5, minus 117. That's what I got out in the market. You look at this game, quite frankly, it's just Tark's cue ball. Not as sharp as he once was, but I think that we do get a quality start before the All-Star break. Kind of curious if this will be his last start before he takes the mound, if he's going to be, actually pitching in that game. There's a lot of things to take in perspective, but I can tell you that the Tigers, they want to win this game. 41-48 going against a 42-47 Reds team. A little interleague play for you guys here on this Sunday. Going against Graham Ashcroft, I do like Tark's cue ball to get the job done, but I am going to leave the door open for Cincinnati to kind of just roll one over, right? Cincinnati, hard team to handicap. They could put up 12 runs in any game. They could get shut out in any game, and the Tigers are going for the sweep. So just because of that, I'm going to leave the door open a little bit. Skubal can still pitch a great game and lose 3-2, 2-1. So we are just going to take the under 8.5 as that first official play. All right, so that will be my first best bet. Next game, San Francisco and Cleveland. Guys, it's a rubber match on a Sunday, and Cleveland will be rocking. They set attendance records yesterday at Progressive Field, Jacobs Field to most, but nonetheless, minus 126 there on the money line. Grab up the Guardians. That's way too cheap. I can tell you guys, sometimes in these rubber matches, it doesn't really matter who's pitching. I do like Hayden Birdsong for the Giants, so that's something that you do want to keep in mind. I'm not going to bet it, but that is my lean. So go with the home team with Carlos Carrasco on the mound for the Guardians. Okay, next game up is Chicago-Miami. Just same thing as Friday, same thing as Saturday. This game just gets crossed off. We're not even going to talk about it. Waste your guys' time. Do not touch this game with a 10-foot pole. Houston, Minnesota, that's the next game on the card. We want to look at Spencer Arrighetti and Simeon Woods-Richardson. So a little bit of regression for Woods-Richardson, but this is one where we saw Astros kind of just demolish the Twins game 1. And then we saw the reverse scenario in game 2. And now here we are on the Sunday, and you can still gobble up that Astros plus 115 in the market. kind of don't agree with that handicap. That's a little bit fishy, so maybe Vegas knows something, but just judging by that, if I was going to bet this, we're taking Houston all day, plus 115. Something weird's going on where I would have the Twins a little bit closer in this handicap, closer to $1.30. I'm sorry, closer to $1.10. I think this game's more of a pick'em, quite honestly. So I just don't think there's 20 cents to home field here, despite having, statistically the better pitcher, I guess you would say. So this is no play for me, but it's Astros or nothing. All right, and then we're going to go into the Angels and Cubs. The Angels have been absolutely turning some heads, really pulling one over there on the Cubs, just by margin too. So game one, we took the run line with the Cubbies and got that done. But now this is all bets are off. I think that we're going to see a lot of runs in this. So for me, I'm not going to pick a side, but the over 8.5 juiced up to $1.35, very appealing. So that's something that I would get into if you were going to make me bet this game. Okay, Tampa, Texas, next game out there on the card. This is no play for me as well. For those of you that are interested, Zach Littell and Nathan Eovaldi, this has been one where it's kind of been tough to handicap. No real true indication. I will tell you guys, though, that it would not shock me if we did get a really low-scoring game. They have the under 7.5 at basically even money, so that's kind of something where we look into kind of how that is on a consistent basis. When they set these totals really low and they kind of give you those kind of odds, it's usually for a reason. So we're looking at a 3-1, 4-0, 2-0, something along those lines. Would not be shocked if we get kind of an outlier here and it's a very low scoring affair. I'm just going to stay away. It's not for my appetite. All right, Kansas City, Colorado, that's another one. Brady Singer, Tanner Gordon. I do want to talk about the Royals just completely getting annihilated by the Rockies. So good for my Cleveland Indians within their race for the AL Central. I think that's going to be a little tighter battle in the second half. Look for the Indians to regress a little bit. I quite frankly still don't know. And the better in me is really having a hard time understanding how that they're even in a position that they're in leading up to the All-Star break. So that's just kind of how I feel about it. If anybody has any answer, please let me know. But I think at their payroll levels that I wouldn't have it. I don't think they'd have any issue signing me for pennies either. So keep the momentum going. But hey, Kansas City, Brady Singer, that's the play. I think that they edge it out within the Rockies. You look at the numbers and kind of really dive into it. This is something where the Royals are just struggling to hit the baseball. And $1.49, I know they're into Colorado's home park, a little bit better at home. So if you do want to jump on that plus 143 money line for the Rockies, go for it. I watched Brady Singer pitch pretty well last time out, so I am going to be all over the Royals, but $1.49, something where I'm not going to get involved, okay? And then we will have another official play as we get into these last 5 games, so bear with me, guys. We're going to be through this one. Orioles, Athletics. All right, run line for Orioles. This is a must-play for me, minus 1.5 at a minus 110 price, bet 365. This is an official play. Can't turn it down. The Orioles were my play earlier on in this series, stealing, with margin that first game against the Athletics, and this is something where I see. This is the only thing that worries me is I think we saw like kind of last night how they may have took the foot off the gas pedal leading up to the All-Star break, but they won 3-2. And then all of a sudden, boom, 19-8, suffering a loss against the Oakland Athletics. So the A's have won 4 out of their last 5, maybe more, but 4 out of their last 5. Yeah, that's what they are at. And this was an outlier. So now with Grayson Rodriguez going, it's something where sometimes you get embarrassed. You have to strike back, and I know that they're on the road, so on and so forth. But I just truly like this matchup, and we're seeing some of the betting split where it's indicating a lot of money line bettors, so a lot of sharp movement here on the Athletics on that money line. So we're looking at a number that is fresh at a plus 163 kind of value. So hey, you want to put a little fun coupon on the Athletics to kind of steal one, sure, but not so fast for me. I'm run line Orioles minus 1.5 as an official play. So that's where we're at within that. I'll save the best for last. We're going to talk about Dodgers, Milwaukee, but Diamondbacks, Padres, we were all over that over yesterday. That is my lean in this game. If you want to bet this game, I would lean towards the over. Padres minus 155, nothing that I'm looking to bet. If you do find sometimes you can get those like kind of full run line values. So if you want a little bit of an insurance play, you don't want to lay the full juice with the money line, but you don't really feel confident them winning by 2. You can find those minus ones. They're kind of a sucker bet. It's kind of like taking insurance, but sometimes it does help out in that regard. Also, if you do like the blowouts, taking them minus 2 is a very good avenue to go down, because yes, you do cover your run line, but you also give yourself an out if it does end on 2 exactly, if you, instead of betting them to win by 3 or more. So just something I do from time to time if I'm really confident in a win by margin. Okay, so like I said, over in that game, if you are going to bet it, no play for me. Boston Yankees, that is Sunday Night Baseball, so great series that we have all the time. Great that they did this on the 4th of July weekend as well. And quite frankly, this is where I'd buy low on the Yankees, minus 145. That's kind of where I'm at. If I was going to bet it, I'm taking the minus 145. I'm also going to take the over 8.5. Those are my 2 leans, very strong leans too, mind you, but just something where I think the Yankees get it done. But you do worry about some of these performances we're seeing, and how these games have been getting out of hand. We're seeing higher totals. We're seeing lopsided victories. It really raises the question how much of this is due to the All-Star break approaching. So, like I said, I'm not going to go crazy with these bets, but if I had a play, it would be Yankees in the over 8.5. Okay. And then the next play that we will have, we're going back to the well. No handicap needed really, other than the fact that we lost yesterday by a half run. We're going to chase it. We're going to look to double up, and we're going to take the Mariners under 7.5. I know it's juicy at minus 120, but I love this. Mariners home unders cash an extreme rate, and we do get a favorable pitching matchup with George Kirby and Jose Berrios. Berrios had a great outing last time out, so look for him to repeat that. Previous outings, maybe not so much, but nonetheless, the Mariners do struggle to hit the baseball for whatever reason. Unders are at a high clip in Seattle, so we are taking the under 7.5. The market knows that too. You don't see 7.5s for they don't put that out there just for fun. There's a reason why they're at 7.5, but a lot of times, if you look at it, probably the more percentage of 7.5s do cash the under versus the over. So we are going to take the under 7.5, and that fountain just turned on, so apologies if there's any unwanted noise contamination, but we're gonna hit that last game, and this is one where we look into the Dodgers and Brewers. This is a fade against Dallas Keuchel, straight up. That's the only handicap you guys need to know. As long as I see kind of consistency within the Dodgers bats, they're hitting the baseball, that's all I need for this. I don't care who they're rolling out the pitch. So I do have the Dodgers. These are my best bets, so we're gonna have 2 here. And like I said, I'll leave it open-ended, so you guys pick which one you want if you are going to tail me. But I am liking the Dodgers over 2.5 for the first 5. That's at a minus 130 price. Also, that Dodgers team total over 4.5. It's minus 143. So if you want to get into parlay mode and put that with something, then fine. That's one way you can lower that juice, but very confident within those picks. Not necessarily in confidence within taking the full game team total. I don't like the 9.5. The number's a little bit fishy. That's the best number you can find. But the Dodgers minus 152, I'm attracted to that as well. So the reason why it's low is because there's no official pitcher yet. So depending on who they roll out for this 4:10 first pitch against the Brew Crew really will impact kind of that narrative. But I do like for Dallas Keuchel to get absolutely lit up like the 4th of July. So that is kind of my plays, my best bets. The best bets for today: Detroit under 8.5, minus 117. Baltimore on the run line, minus 110. Seattle under 7.5, going back to that well, minus 120. Also, Dodgers over 2.5 in the first 5, minus 130. And the over 4.5, minus 143. So those ones are kind of in their own category. Kind of leave it open-ended. You guys pick which one you want, but I do like them both, and I look for the Dodgers to get it done in that game against Dallas Keuchel. So just not confident with that over 10, getting to 10 exactly. I worry about kind of having like an 8-0 kind of game for the Dodgers, something like that, and losing that bet. So that's kind of where I'm at, but I do like the Dodgers to score runs. So those are my best bets. Good luck. Enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. Hope you guys are all doing well, and we'll see you guys back on the channel tomorrow as we get into Monday. If there are games, let me check that real quick. I'm not sure, quite frankly, if there are games. Yeah, we got 7 games tomorrow. So we'll have picks, 12 o'clock, first pitch for the Mets and Pirates on Monday. So back to work, back in the office, and we'll have full breakdown tomorrow morning. Cheers. Good luck.